Hi, Joel Sweeney here. Today I want to talk to you about speaking anxiety. It's a well-known fact that our fear of speaking outranks our fear of death by a significant margin. What is it about fear that really holds us back? To help us understand it a little bit more, I want to share with you an analogy that I do with folks when I get a group setting going. So I get them to imagine that I have a large 6x6 wooden beam sitting on the floor, and it's going right across the entire room. And I offer them, theoretically, $10 if they will walk across that beam. So that's $10 to each and every person in the room if they walk across that beam. And I ask by a show of hands how many would take me up on the offer. And of course, everybody in the room puts up their hands because the beam is sitting on the floor. It's 6 inches, nice and wide. Everybody's going to walk across that beam and not have any problem whatsoever. And they're going to take my $10. Now, I asked them to envision that same 6x6 beam that they all just walked across without any problem whatsoever is now positioned between two buildings 100 feet in the air. And I asked them to visualize looking down at the beam and then looking down at the ground 100 feet below. And I would ask you to visualize the same thing. And if you're catching that visualization, then chances are you're almost feeling it a little bit in your stomach. That height, that sense of height. So now I offer another $10 to the group if they'll walk across the beam. And generally speaking, I'll get 1, maybe 2, and that's it. A couple of daredevils in the group that will actually take me up on it. But for the most part, most of the group are refusing to go across the beam 100 feet in the air for $10. So then I up the ante and I say $10,000. So it's a significant sum. $10,000. How many would go across the beam? I usually get a few more takers. And then I ask the question, well, how many would start to think about it? And again, some more hands would go up. So clearly, something has changed. From virtually nobody wanting to go across to a pretty significant number that would at the very least consider it. And of course, what's changed is it's becoming worth the risk. It's becoming worth the risk. So people are willing to take a chance. Well, once we identify that, I advise folks to start thinking about their public speaking in the same way. So if you think about the anxiety and the fear that you have, and you say, okay, if I get up and speak, the rewards that I'm going to get from that make it worth the risk. It just puts it in a different perspective. That's your tip for today. Thanks.